Hey everyone, this is Rabbit as well at Animation Bliss, and welcome to another animated top series. So today's top 5 list I'll be doing today is my top 5 Crashbox segments, and before I get into this, here are a few words from the channel. Alright Animaniacs, now let's get on the social media train. Want to chat with us in 100 words or less? Then check out our Twitter account. Want to chat with us within a group? Then check out our Facebook account. Want to get the lowdown on everything dealing with animation on this channel? Then check all the above. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. So as you guys may have noticed by now, I am a huge fan of Crashbox. I love watching that show because it's such a crazy and fun show that manages to educate a lot of little kids, and the fact that they're able to challenge kids on learning about their history and their geography is really amazing to me. And what I really loved the most about the show was the weirdness that goes along with it. But I also love the segments done in this series. So there was a lot of segments from Crashbox that I really enjoyed. So let's talk about my top 5 favorite segments from Crashbox. But before we get into this, here's a bit of a warning. I want to let you guys know that this video is based off of my personal opinions. So there might be some segments on this list that you guys might not agree with, or there might be some segments that I didn't mention on this list that you guys think I should have mentioned. So please feel free to comment down below on what segments you like. And now let's get on with the list. So Mugshots is this segment that stars a detective named Verity, and she takes in these criminals and she tries to figure out which criminal is lying to her and which criminal is not lying to her. And the way the audience is able to figure that out is the information that the criminal gives us. Like for example, you may have one criminal who's saying, oh well, a mule is like a cross between a donkey and a horse, and you have to decide if that's true or not. And if it turns out that that information is actually true, then that criminal is not guilty. However, if it turns out that whatever information the criminal gives you is wrong, like say that the criminal says, oh, there are 11 eggs in a dozen, and it turns out that the answer is wrong, then the criminal is guilty. And that's the basis of this game. I really enjoyed this segment because, for one thing, it's a mystery segment. I'm a huge fan of the mystery genre, and I love watching shows that deal with mystery. So the fact that with this particular segment, it deals with us trying to figure out which criminal is lying and which criminal is not lying was really entertaining for me. And then I love the fact that this segment is like one of the only segments in this series that's actually in live action. So it really makes this segment really stand out. And I do like Verity as a character, even though we don't really see her appearance, but I like her personality. She has a very snarky personality, and it's very fun to listen to her talk with these criminals while making a lot of snarky remarks towards these criminals. So the Captain Bones segment is about this dead skeleton who tries to teach viewers math, and the way he does that is that he uses his own bones to make all these math problems, and you have to figure out how to solve these math problems. Like for example, he may have a problem that says 10 equals 7 minus 3, and we all know that 7 minus 3 does not equal 10, and you have to move one of his bones to make the problem come out right. So in this case, you remove one of his bones from the equal sign, and you have it set up like 10 minus 7 equals 3. And that's how this game is set up. I have to say that this is one of the most complicated games that I tried to play with this show. Like the fact that we had to move one of the bones to figure out how to make this math problem come out right was so difficult for me. And I will admit I had a hard time with this particular segment when I was trying to figure out these problems. But what I really enjoyed about this segment was the fact that we have Captain Bones himself who's snarky towards the audience. And I just love the insults he gives out to the audience as they're hilarious to listen to. And then I just can't help but laugh whenever he's insulting the audience, despite the fact that I'm having a hard time trying to solve his problems. And I love the fact that Captain Bones is a big talking skeleton because I love watching shows that deal with skeletons. Go figure. So Psychomath has a professor named Professor Rocket who's trying to teach viewers about math. And the way he does this is that he shows you pictures and you have to figure out how many items are within that picture. Like for example, he might ask you how many eggs are in a dozen, which is 12, and then subtract that by how many musketeers are in the group, which is 3. So you get like 12 minus 3 equals 9. And that's how this segment goes. I really enjoyed this segment because, one, I really like Professor Rocket as a character. He's like that cool teacher that everybody likes to hang around with, and I just love how enthusiastic he is about this whole segment. It just makes you really want to play the segment even more. And I like the creative way they take in teaching math to the viewers. Like, they show you all these pictures and you have to figure out how many characters or how many objects are within this picture. And I just had a fun time with this particular segment. So Eddie Bull is a segment about a zookeeper named Eddie Bull, and he ends up getting eaten by one of the animals in each episode. And throughout the segment, you have to figure out which animal ate up Eddie Bull by trying to figure out what kind of clues he's giving out to you and how that relates to whatever animal has eaten him up. Sounds twisted, doesn't it? Well, yeah, this segment was probably the most twisted I ever seen out of this series. Like, the fact that this segment hinges on a zookeeper being eaten up by all these animals, and you have to guess which animal ate him up that episode, is really dark and twisted, and I loved it. It's rare that I come across a kids show that use a lot of dark humor, and this is one of those segments that has a lot of dark humor, as it does center around a zookeeper being eaten up by animals, and he's just taking all this like with a smile on his face, and I'm like, dude, you're being eaten by an animal, how could you be smiling about this? But that's why I love this segment. It's dark and twisted, and it teaches viewers about animals, so I love this segment just for that. So Distraction News is a segment that's about a newswoman named Dora Swarmy who tries to be informative with the audience. And the goal of this particular segment is that Dora will be talking about a different topic each video. Like, for example, you have one episode that deals with the topic of insects, and you have to listen to what Dora is saying about insects, and then she gives you a quiz at the end of the video to see if you were paying attention to what she was saying. But here's the catch with the segment. You can't be distracted by all the weird things that pop up across the screen in this segment. And this segment pretty much helps you try to not be distracted by anything while you're trying to learn at the same time. Now, this is my all-time favorite segment from Crashbox because it's like one of the weirdest segments I ever seen. Like, the fact that you see a lot of weird creatures popping up across the screen and you're trying so hard not to be distracted by all these creatures popping up across the screen was really fun to watch. And the fact that we get to learn a lot of things that's being discussed in these segments, like about insects or about tornadoes, was really entertaining to me and nice to listen to. So here's a hint for you guys. If you don't want to be distracted by all the weird imagery that pops up in this segment, just close your eyes and listen to what Dora's saying. That's what I do. But then again, I am watching this segment for the weird imagery alone. So those are my top 5 favorite segments from Crashbox. It's just amazing how this show has a lot of weird imagery, and yet it has a lot of segments that's able to entertain the audience. So that's what I love so much about Crashbox, and that's why I continue to watch Crashbox to this very day. So tell me in the comments down below, have you seen Crashbox? And if you have, what were some of your favorite segments from the show? Please feel free to tell me in the comments down below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rabbit Explorer Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later.